Starting unit composed of Arwin Santos, Captain Alvin Patrimonio, Asi Taulava, the triggerman Alan Kaidik, and Winnie Arboleda. And the NBA Asia Challenge 2009 is underway. NBA Generations in immaculate white and the PBA All-Stars in dark blue. Here's Hardaway up against Arboleda. Tim Hardaway turns around. Rebound for Asi. Firing a pass. Intercepted by Billy Thomas.
Of all the players out there, the one guy that really knows Philippine basketball is Billy Thomas. Had an opportunity to play in the Philippines as an import.
The first 2 points of the game belong to the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins, who vows, who promised that he would make one slam dunk at least tonight. Kaidik for three. And Thomas sends it over. Wilkins, look out! There's the slam dunk. First of the night. I give that a 9.5.
I think you're being generous, Miko. I'll give it about 8. An 8.
No, I have to factor in the extra rice. These guys have been here for a week. Aaron Santos sneaks in for the layup.
Still got to be careful with Dominique Wilkins. Their first game as a group, he was the top scorer for the NBA group.
Murray grabs the pass straight into the hands of Aaron Santos and Divac. Fighting with Arboleda. Mr. Divac, say hello to the center.
It's a little different when you have to get the ball from a guy that's 5 foot 8 inches, and you're 7 feet. Medyo mahirap abutin yung bola.
We are in the early moments of the opening quarter. Patrimonio to Arboleda. Swings it over. Arwin Santos for three. Rebound for Dominique. 2-point game in favor of the NBA Generations. Billy Thomas fires away. Rebound for Taulava. Patrimonio pulling up. Yes, sir. That's a three for the captain.
You know, all the accolades about Alvin Patrimonio, how he's such a good scorer. The biggest surprise for me, at the end of his career, Alvin Patrimonio, top 3 in 3-point field goal percentage.
There's that crossover, and Hardaway will miss. There's Arwin Santos. He's going to go all the way. And bothered a bit by Vlade Divac. And here's Wilkins once again. That's his second dunk. I give that a 9.75.
Because he's getting a little bit more tired. What did I give him? 8.2?
And an extra rice.
Okay, 8.4. But he came up with the goods. We didn't think that he was going to be dunking in this game, but very early on, 2 dunks for the human highlight film.
Meantime, Kaidik with the fake. Fires. And Patrimonio saves it to the wrong man. Here's Robert Horry. Horry for 3. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so far, fans are getting their money's worth. Saw a crossover from Tim Hardaway, saw a dunk from Dominique Wilkins, and saw a 3-point shot from Robert Horry.
Arwin Santos with a swipe. Wilkins is on the floor, and that's a foul. I mean, how many times can anyone say Patrimonio fouls Hardaway?
And that's where the thrill for these local players really is at. Guys like Alvin Patrimonio, gaya na sabi mo, you would never hear and you would never have that opportunity if you would be Alvin Patrimonio. Might as well foul all of these guys on the floor, so you can at least say that you fouled Tim Hardaway, Robert Horry, Vlade Divac, and Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that Tim Hardaway, before becoming the court general of the Miami Heat, was really part of that 90s run and gun team of Run TMC, Don Nelson and the Golden State Warriors.
One of those in an era where defense was really starting to pick up. Don Nelson really trying to turn things around, playing 3 guards, and Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Mitch Richmond, and they were fairly successful But then they were one of the more entertaining teams in the league at that time.
Maybe for younger fans, as Hardaway will miss, just to give them an idea, para sila yung Phoenix Suns nung araw. At that time.
Ang diferensya lang, tatlo lang yung gumagawa sa kanila nung panahon na yun.
Vlade Divac with a turnaround. And the NBA Generations open up an 8-point lead, 13-5. With 5:54 remaining in the opening period. So we'll take this timeout, back with more action in a moment. We're coming off a timeout, and during that timeout, the New Jersey Nets dancers were performing. And I tell you, not one guy in the PBA All-Stars was listening to the timeout.
And you just saw Asi Taulava with a nice smile on his face, and now you know why.
All right, let's send you over to Patricia Bermudez-Hizon.
Thanks, Miko. Coach Rory held practice yesterday to help the guys loosen up. They are coming off a one game in Korea, but their first game against the KBL All-Stars, they lost that by 16 points. Now, Coach said they have adapted since, and they do expect to play at a high level of competition tonight, and we're seeing that already. Now, keys for them would be to shoot their threes, and of course, a lot more crafty moves from Divac like that. Now, he's also saying that they need to get to the basket quick, but really, it's all about the D, and that's assistant coach Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's assignment. He's in charge of team defense. Now, he told the guys to play hard, teamwork is important, and dedicate this game to the Filipino fans. So we've got Leah on the other side of the court with this report on the PBA teams.
Thanks, Pat. Now, earlier, Miko and Jason were talking about how the PBA All-Stars are completely starstruck with their opponents, and yes, that was the collective sentiment inside the PBA dugout earlier. Alvin Patrimonio showed me the stack of Tim Hardaway cards he was looking to have autographed, and Dondon Hontiveros actually told me na kailangan daw, bago mag-umpisa yung game, makapag-autograph na daw siya para makafocus daw siya sa laro. But Coach Yeng Gao said that they will try to be competitive. They had 2 practices this week. Their main problem is the people. Coach Yeng Gao said that they will try to be competitive. They had 2 practices this week. Their main problem is the PBA legends still have their skills, but of course they are not in game shape. So rotation will be very, very important. They can't overextend these guys. Now they need to be decent on defense, and with the size advantage, they need to shoot from the outside and run. Back to you, Miko and Jason.
Well, definitely one of the advantages that they have is they have a lot of players, talking about the PBA, that are in shape. They're getting ready for the upcoming season, which starts on October 15. And the guys like Dondon Ontiveros, Arwin Santos, they're definitely in game shape. And especially with this lineup on the floor for the NBA, they can run this team to the ground.
Dominique Wilkins already with 2 slam dunks across his name. Now it's an 11-point lead for the NBA Generations, their biggest lead of the game so far, and under 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, if you're to be a part of the PBA team, at this point you're thinking, time to buckle down, not get too starstruck, because you look at the score, it's already 11 points, and in the end, Filipino fans are out here and they want to see the PBA players perform, and it's time to wake up for the PBA team.
And you're talking about the legends here. We haven't seen the NBDL guys who are really in tip-top shape.
Yes, that's right.
And the trigger man responds, cuts down the deficit to 8 points.
And one of the things, even if as you get older, your skills might diminish, but your shooting, especially if you're Alan Kaidik, hindi talaga nawawala.
I think Alan, even when he turns 90, he still will have that awesome shooting touch.
Of course, Alan Kaidik, owner of most points in a game, most points in a quarter, most points in a half, most number of 3-point shots in a game. One of those players that when it comes to offense really has no problem.
We see the first appearance of Ronnie Magsanok. I only had one request from Ronnie, that he hit a 3 over Robert Horry. That's my only request.
Don't they have the same number on their back? What's their number 5?
And both are deadly 3-point shooters in the clutch. Meantime, here's Magsanok. Magsanok looking for a friend here, finds Kaidik for 3. Yes, sir!
Now they're eventually going to learn that what Alan Kaidik can do. Really a hot shot, a dead shot from the outside. 2 out of 3 from 3-point range for Alan.
And the PBA All-Stars back in this game. Down by just 5 as Hardaway misses. Magsanok to kay Dick. You know, Robert Ory says, okay, I know what you can do. Here's Alan for 3. At that time, Asi with a rebound. Kick out pass. Patrimonio swings it over. Here's Ontiveros for 3. That was an open shot for Dondon. Rebound for Vladediva.
But what a sight. You have 4 guys on the outside. You have Patrimonio, kay Dick, and Magsanok. Top 3 guys all time. 3-point percentage. And at the end of that rotation, you have Dondon Ontiveros, one of the best 3-point shooters right now.
Look at blocked from behind by Kaidik. And here's Billy Thomas spotting up. Yes, sir. That's a 3.
We talked about all these other guys that have had NBA experience. Billy Thomas also had an NBA experience. Played for Cleveland, played for New Jersey.
And fake by Allen. Brushing Dominic aside. And Allen now with 9 points.
You know, when you can hit that outside shot, Nico, basketball becomes so easy.
And Wilkins scoring against Asi Taulava. And Wilkins now with 9, matching the output of Alan K. Dick. And Patrimonio will try again. And Asi clears the rebound. Who's shot clock for the PBA All-Stars. And Magsanok with the layup. I never told you this, but they used to call me the Ronnie Magsanok of the Ateneo High School.
Same haircut?
Same haircut. That's about it. It ends right there.
I would think you'd be the type of player that would emulate or copy the free throw shooting of Ronnie Magsanok. That's Alan K. Dick. Nico, Alan K. Dick is just... That's his 4th 3-point shot, 3-point made basket of the game.
And Wilkins will miss, bothered by Ontiveros. Wilkins asking Art Herrera for a foul.
And at the same time,
Here's Allen for 3. Yes, sir! Here's Ari. And 2 hands. A 3rd slam dunk for Dominic Wilkins tonight. And I tell you, Alan K. Dick is the man of the moment here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, of all the guys, of all the legends that we have out there, of the 25 greatest players of the PBA, of all of them, you would think Alan K. Dick would have the easiest time to get his game going. As you can see him, tinatao na siya ngayon, dito ni Thomas.
There's Wilkins against Patrimonio, and Wilkins will score. Dominic now with 13 points.
And some things still don't change. When Dominic Wilkins goes to the basket, bumabali pa rin siya.
Hardaway with a missed layup. There's Asi. Alan, one more try. Firing away. Short. Kaidik for 3. Straight but short. Robert Ory fires. As Ontiveros clears the rebound. Time winding down here in the opening quarter. Let's see if they'll try and send that basketball back to Alan K. Dick. Magsanok, Taulava. Patrimonio will score off the glass. And the lead now with the PBA All-Stars. As time expires in the opening quarter. Great job by the PBA legends in getting back in this game and surging ahead.
And basketball's greatest equalizer, 3-point shot. Alan K. Dick, best 3-point shooter of all time in the PBA, brings the PBA team back.
Guys, they gotta be on the shooter so they don't just fire it up. Of course, he's talking about Kaidik and how he really shot it up in the first quarter. Now, he warns them to go out there and go man to man. So that's one of the major changes that they'll be doing here in the second quarter, apart from predominantly or all NBDL players here in the second quarter. Now, they gotta get their movements going according to Coach Rory. They have to run transition for easy layups, and they have to remember to set picks to stay well within this game. Back to you guys. Or rather, let's send it over to Leah right now for her take on the PBA squad.
Thanks, Pat. Now it is all smiles all around during that last huddle. You can tell that these guys are just really enjoying the game. I spoke to Alan Kaidik. He said, hindi daw siya nag-practice. Wala pang practice yan. He said, I'm just enjoying the game. Coach Yang, however, said, pagpasok ng dilig, patay kayo. Mabilis yung mga yun. Miko and Jason.
That is the warning given by Coach Yeng Yao. That's why we have some change in personnel here. Ronnie Magsaroc is still on the floor with Don Don. Sonny Toss is in there with Kenneth Duremdes and Enrico Villanueva.
It's really going to be a different quarter right now with the NBDL guys right on the court. It's going to be much quicker, just like Coach Yeng said. So PBA guys should be ready for that. And you can see it even with the defense. You can see it, Nico, even with the defense, much tighter now for the with the NBDL guys on the floor.
On the floor now for the NBA generations, you have Marcus Hubbard, Chris Ellis, Lanny Smith, Derek Dial, who has the ball right now. Or check that, that's Chris Ellis, wearing number 44, and he was fouled on his way to the hoop.
Number 19, Kenneth That's his first
foul is on Kenneth.
And the line itself is shooting.
Well, Chris Ellis, not part of not a player from the NBA, but he happens to be the son of Dale Ellis. Many NBA fans would remember Dale Ellis. Dale Ellis, hot shot from played for Seattle, played for San Antonio, but really had his best years with Seattle, and was really part of that team that with Etna Shrimp, and even had some years with Kent.
An easy winner for Russell Robinson. 2-point game in favor of the NBA generations in the early moments of the second quarter. Sanok will call the play over to Duremdes. Duremdes on the left side with 13 to shoot. Here's Villanueva, and now Ontiveros fires and misses. 2 minutes having gone by in the second quarter. Play broken up by Ontiveros. It ends up with Dial. The ball is back with Derek Dial over Enrico. And that's an air ball. Here's Duremdes to Magsaroc. To Villanueva, the big man on the move. Steps on the brakes outside. Duremdes for three. Alley-oop. Yes, sir. Marcus Hubbard of the Rio Grande Valley Vipers with a slam.
And even in the round robin, he was a guy that was definitely entertaining the crowd, and he was doing a lot of that in the round robin, and he can definitely do it in the game as well.
This layup by Duremdes. Here's Robinson. Nice move to the basket with Derek Dial. Derek Dial plays for the Tulsa 66ers in the NBDL. Sunny toss. Moss on the move. A slight bump from Ellis. Here's Duremdes with a fake outside Magsaroc. 7 to shoot. Duremdes tries again. Still short. NBDL guys really pushing the tempo here. Rebound cleared by Villanueva to Duremdes. Duremdes. Magsaroc for three. Yes, sir!
Just like Alan Kaidig, who still can hit that shot, Ronnie Magsaroc doing the same thing.
In the meantime, here's Robinson. It's a razzle-dazzle here. Lanny Smith, Lanny Smith rather. With some razzle-dazzle moves to push the NBA generations up by 5. Ontiveros with a 3. Here's Smith. Play broken up by Duremdes. Kenneth sends it over. Ontiveros against Ellis. Dondon pulling up. Now the NBA generations try and slow things down with 5.5 remaining in the first half. We go to Ellis, big height advantage over Villanueva.
Interestingly, the NBA generations not even taking advantage of their size. First time that we've seen them slow it down and actually go to the post.
We have the timeout on the floor and making this experience really enjoyable for the fans inside the Big Dome. Here's our KFC assist delivery of the quarter. Magpa-deliver sa KFC just out 887-8888. KFC's finger licking good. Lanny Smith finding Marcus Hubbard for that play. Back to live action on the floor, and Villanueva will... First 2 points for the Raging Bull. We're tied at 34.
And you know, when you have exhibition games like this, first quarter, feeling out period, then after a while, the competitive juices, all the athletes on the floor starts to pick up, and you can see it right here in the second quarter.
That's a power move by Chris Ellis. Nothing Villanueva could do on that play. Joseph Yo, the Ninja, is now part of this game. Here's the basketball. He got bothered there by big Chris Ellis. Willie Miller also part of the game. Here's Eric Dial with the pull-up. Rebound for Miller. There are 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Yo fires it over. Villanueva.
You gotta love that pass. Joseph Yo to Enrico Villanueva.
I think that's more historic. I'm sure a lot of people still remember the raging issue between Yo and Villanueva. I'm sure these two gentlemen have patched things up. Left that in the past. Let bygones be bygones. Give the next up on the other side. Legends game. 4:07 remaining in the second quarter. JRS making his first appearance tonight. Willie Miller for 3. Yes, sir.
The key difference right now for this game is the ability of the PBA team to hit that three-point shot. When you look at the other side, the NBA generation still struggling from the field, especially from the outside.
1 point lead for the PBA All-Stars. 5 to shoot. Battle for the rebound ends up with Miller. Willie Miller to Yo to JRS. Hand off Miller. Lots of time to shoot. Miller going inside. Almost scoring, and putback is good for Villanueva. 4 points for one of the newest members of Barangay Ginebra. And that's an easy layup for Derek Lyon. Nice swipe there by Lanny Smith. Lanny Smith plays for the Idaho Stampede in the NBDL. Ellis wants that basketball. Here's a help defense by JRS. Basket is good for Chris Ellis.
Yeah, some of the fans that don't know what the NBDL is, it's the NBA Developmental League. A lot of the players that still want to fix their craft or to improve stay in the NBDL and wait to get a call from their mother team in the NBA.
There are several NBDL alumni already making waves in the NBA. And we'll talk about that when we return back after this timeout. Back inside the Big Dome for more second quarter action. Mark Pingris is now in the game for the PBA All-Stars. Yo saves the ball here with 6 on the shot clock. Yo trying to spin out of trouble. And he loses the ball. 2:16 remaining in the first half. Benny Thomas is back in the game. Sends it to Ellis. With Thomas with a fake. Layup won't drop. Ellis. A lot of muscle in the shaded lane.
And most of the points of the NBA generations in this quarter from the paint, from their big men, getting a lot of rebounds, really showing and using their size.
Open shot, Joseph Yo for 3. And hit the top of the backboard. So the ball goes back to the NBA generations. So glad you could join us. This is the exclusive coverage of the 2009 NBA Asia Challenge here on CS9. Nico Halili here alongside Jason Webb. And Leah Cruz and Patricia Hizon complete our team. Yo trying to go for the daring. Too many tall trees underneath.
Chris Ellis, ever since he's come in, has really been a factor for their team on offense, He's been the guy that's been getting all those low post points. And defensively, nakikita natin natatakot yung mga Philippine team, PBA players to go to the paint.
Ellis with the rebound, a miss there by Arwin Santos. 5-point game in favor of the NBA Generations. Smith to Thomas. Again, they go to Ellis, guarded by Pingles. Ellis fires short. Here's Miller, marching along the right side of the floor and almost hits a three. Dial. And that's a miss for Lanny Smith. Dial gets the ball back with under a minute to play in the second quarter. No look pass. Fingers able to thwart that attempt. Here's Yo on the move. Outside, JRS for three. Time winding down here in the second period.
Billy Thomas.
By Billy Thomas, who started this game for the NBA Generations.
He's the one guy that was with the legends of the NBA, and he's back on the floor right now, and seems like he's one of the leaders of this team.
3 seconds remaining in the first half. Arwin Santos with a stretch. That ends the first half. The NBA All-Stars, Don Ontiveros, Ronnie Magsano, Alvin Patrimonio, Alan Kedic, and the first appearance of the Tower of Power, Benji Paras. And starting for the NBA Generations, Tim Hardaway, Robert Ory, scorer of the layup, along with Vlade Divac, Dominique Wilkins, and Billy Thomas.
Robert Ory scoring right there, and Robert Ory had a good career in the NBA, and sometimes you have to be able to find the team that fits for you. Robert Ory, you look at his time in the NBA, was always with a dominant center. He was with Team Olajuwon, he was with Shaq, and he was also with Tim Duncan.
Maybe that's why when he was with the Phoenix Suns, he said, I don't belong here.
Exactly.
I spent one season with Phoenix.
And, you know, because he's a big man that can shoot from the outside, bagay na bagay kung meron kang dominant na big man, because you're going to be able to open up the lanes for that big guy.
Could have been a perfect pass coming from Magsanok for Patrimonio. And Magsanok apologizes to the PBA All-Star bench. Score is 50-43 in favor of the NBA Generations. We're in the early moments of the second half. Tim Hardaway slowing things down. Tim Hardaway against Ronnie Magsanok. Vlade Divac spots that ball against Benji Paras. There's the sky hook. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shakes his head. What is he doing? It's my shot. Interestingly though, Vlade is Benji scores on an inexplicable shot. Here's Hardaway, loses the ball.
I love that. You were still able to explain that shot.
Benji wide open and pass the ball over to Vlade Divac. There's Dominique Hardaway wide open. Has all day to shoot. And that's a miss. Wilkins with the rebound, and Allen gives up the duty foul. And Ronnie telling Benji, "Come on, Benji, let's go down in defense."
And even when you look at the NBA generation, some of them also having a hard time. When you advance in years, it's always harder to start resting. Once you start playing, then you go to the bench. It's difficult to get back, to get hot once again.
Here's our KFC assist delivery of the third quarter. Magpa-delivers sa KFC. Just dial 887-8888 KFC. It's finger licking good. Back to action on the floor. 52-43 in favor of the NBA Generations. As we send you over to Patricia Hizo.
I was just talking to Coach Rory earlier, and you know, you really feel the sense of urgency on that squad. He talked about how they got to pick things up in the second half, pointed out K-Dick's 5 of 10 three-point shooting earlier, which he said should not happen again. Now they got to continue on their plan because they know they're bigger, so they just got to pound them inside and take control of this game. Now here in the third quarter, we all know that the NBA legends will be playing, but come the fourth quarter, if they need to use them, you be assured that they will be using the NBA legend a lot more here in the second half. Back to you, Miko and Jason.
A lot of the NBA legends, actually, you think that they would lose the lead when they're on the floor. Actually, they've done pretty well here in this quarter as they push the lead up to around 8 at one point.
Vlade and company actually built an 11-point lead early in this game. Turned around by Wilkins this time. Well done. Oh, Alvin wide open. Captain now with 9 points in the game. Must be weird when you scream, Captain! Alvin will look, and so will Kareem.
Yeah, most of these guys are captains on their team. Hardaway was a captain for Miami. Dominique, I'm sure, was a captain of Atlanta. So all these guys captains at one point.
4-point game in favor of the NBA. Here's Benji. Robert Horry. Dominique Wilkins. Oh, nice ball fake. Scoops it for the layup. There's Allen for 3. Patrimonio with a drop pass. Billy Thomas now with the basketball against Magsano. This layup for Billy Thomas. Here's Dondon. Dondon for 3 over Robert Horry. Paras with the rebound. Nice pass for Ontiveros. Kick out goes to Hardaway. Tim Hardaway to Robert Horry. And Robert Horry with a missed slam dunk. Bothered by the excellent defense of Alan Kaidik.
Robert Horry smiling after that because there was a game about 2 years ago. Robert Horry went up for a dunk, and it was an NBA game, and even his teammates were laughing because it's been 2 years since it was the last time he dunked.
There's Kaidik. Magsanok for 3. Yes, sir!
Anyway, this lineup of the PBA All-Stars, bagay na bagay against this NBA Generations team, because this NBA Generations team, they're not going to play man-to-man. They're going to play zone defense. And guys like Alan Kaidik, Ronnie Magsano, they're just going to feast on that three-point line.
21 points for Dominique Wilkins. And the NBA lead is back to 7 points. And under 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Ontiveros to Paras. Benji, top of the key. Never telling Benji. Come on, shoot it, shoot it. Here's Kaidik. Kaidik for the fake. Kaidik wide open for 3. Not that time. And here's Hardaway. On the move, all the way for 2.
Tim Hardaway.
You know, of all the legends, Tim Hardaway looks exactly the same. There's Paras off the glass. The tower of power. And still get the fans off their seats.
And we all know Benji Paras had to cut his career short because of a knee injury, and right now a lot of we saw Benji Paras in the locker room before the game. His children are here, and as a parent, it's something that you can be really proud of and be happy about, to have your kids watch you, especially in a situation like this, play against the NBA players.
We'll take this time out. NBA still on top, 62-55. Back in a moment. Score is 62-55 in favor of the NBA Generations, and Jason and I are still breathless over the dunking display of the New Jersey Nets dunking divas, and they're breathless too. Yes. Sly, the New Jersey Nets mascot, Sly the Silver Fox. Up, and away. Inside a big dome into a frenzy. Back to the game.
Oh, experience yung dalawa na yan. I mean, Bloody Diva and Robert Horry, one of those guys in the NBA that really know how to use their arms, their bodies, without having to jump.
And their age. Missed by Ronnie. And Benji turns around. Benji Paras was triple teamed by Horry, Hardaway, and Divac. How many times are you going to get to do that in your career?
Pero nakalusot si Benji, pinatawa niya lang.
So 2 free throws here for Venancio Benji Baras.
The only Rookie of the Year and PBA MVP in the same year.
And second free throw for Benji. For more on our PBA All-Stars, let's send you over to Leah Cruz.
Thanks, Miko. You know, everyone on this team is really just lighthearted. It's a very lighthearted atmosphere. Everyone's looking to have fun. In fact, I was just at their bench, and Coach G and Coach Yang were really laughing out loud at the exchange between Vlade Divac and Benji Paras. And the same thing happened in the dugout going into the second half. And of course, you know, during that Ducking Divas performance, no one was listening during that timeout. Okay, and the only major reminder of Coach Yang was not to let the score get too far away. Back to you guys.
Right now, it's a 9-point, we'll take an 8-point advantage. Tim Hardaway adds to that lead and makes it a 67-56 game.
Tim Hardaway missed a couple of shots but when he was just set up. He's one of those guys, when he's dribbling, his shot is so much better. We saw it right there.
Really nice to see Roddy and Benji on the floor at the same time. They spent so many successful years together with the Shell Turbo Chargers. Wilkins with a pump shot. Divac with a rebound. And that is good. Remember what you said earlier, Vlade, one of those early proponents of ball-carrying big men. And certainly Vlade could do that, especially during his early years with the Lakers.
Very interesting that Vlade Divac, only one of 3 players, centers, to average in the same light as Akeem Olajuwon in terms of having 3,000 assists in the NBA. And that's where Vlade Divac really was able to change the NBA center.
We'll be back after this timeout.
Step 2-step crossover move he made in the first quarter. That wasn't even it yet. He's going to try to showcase that killer crossover that he's so known for here in the third quarter. You know, he's saying that he's been practicing it and never really stopped playing. He still plays competitively, not just in the parks, but real pickup games in Miami. Now, he's saying that he really wants to win this game and dedicate it to all his Filipino fans. And just like Dominique Wilkins, Tim Hardaway's been practicing on his outside shot. So the main arsenal, you saw that earlier, and he's going to be using it a lot more to give him the big win. Back to you, Miko and Jason.
You know, we also have to commend both Patricia and Leah. Yeah, I think the two of them combined, they can write books about all these NBA stars. They've spent so much time with them this past week. They've been going around the city, acting as tourist guides, I understand.
Parang sasabihin mo, the 2 of them combined is as tall as Vlade Divac.
Kasama mo pa ako, baka kulang pa. And here's Wilkins.
Going back to Tim Hardaway, if I remember correctly, he was that guy that revolutionized the word schooled, because he was the one guy that was schooling everyone with his crossover to the basket.
Dominic scores against the harassing defense of Dondon Ontiveros. Wilkins now with 25 points. Here's Benji. Billy Thomas trying to break up the play. PBA All-Stars down by 13, and Patrimonio with a miss. Here's Thomas. Time winding down in the third quarter. Robert Horry for 3.
Robert Horry, 3!
Robert Horry, one of those guys, he can miss like 1 million shots, but you still will not allow him to shoot that dagger towards the end.
It's all about reputation, and Robert Horry through the years, and especially you make your reputation not in the regular season but in the playoffs, and that's exactly where he's made his money.
Dominic for 3. Well, Dominic Wilkins with 28 big points, and the NBA generation's really surging ahead. They're up by 9. We welcome you to the fourth and final quarter. This is the 2009 NBA Asia Challenge here on CS9. Nico Alili here with Jason Webb, Leah Cruz, and Patricia Bermudez. He's on. We start the fourth and final quarter with the NBA Generations on top 79-60. Big third quarter there, Jason, by the NBA All-Stars.
The NBA All-Stars scoring 33 points in that third quarter. Courtesy of much of it coming from Dominique Wilkins and Robert Horry and Tim Hardaway also chipping in. And all of a sudden, 5-point advantage for them became a 19-point advantage, and now another 2 points here. It's up to 21.
Joseph Yo, Miller fakes, finds Duremdes, gives the ball up, Yo to Asi, 8 to shoot. Asi on the move against Ellis.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
This will leave the PBA All-Stars with 5 on the shot clock. And Duremdes loses that ball. A 21-point game in favor of the NBA Generations. As they move that ball around, Dial. And that's a 3 for Marcus Hubbard.
Yeah, we've seen him throw some dunk shots, and now he's showing us that he can even extend this game all the way to the outside with that 3-point shot.
Ingris outside Yo. Yo on the move. Miller. Duremdes to Taulava. Miller fires, and it's good.
Nice ball movement on the part of the PBA All-Stars, going from one side to the other. 3 guys touching that basketball ball, not really lasting in one hand very, very long.
Hubbard is humming. Marcus Hubbard with 10 points. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Hubbard, pushing the NBA ahead 87-62. Here's Yo for 3. Rebound for Ellis. NBDL guys on the move here. Hubbard. Swing that ball around. And that's a 3 for Russell Robinson. The NBDL guys on a tear to start things off in the fourth.
It seems that the PBA All-Stars have gotten caught like a deer on headlights, because for a while they were watching the NBA Legends, and seems that they can't put it in gear right now and drive along with the NBA team.
And Asi Taulava hits a 3. Here's Hubbard once again. That time. 7 minutes remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Play was broken up by Russell Robinson. Let's take a look at the Mr. Donut Swakto shot of the game from Dominique Wilkins. And back to action on the floor. Asi tries again. At that time, long rebound ends up with Joseph Yo, and the Ninja goes in and makes the layup. First 2 points for Joseph Yo. Still an imposing 90-67 advantage for the NBA Generations. Dial for 3. Chris Ellis trying to slam it back. Dial will get the layup off the unforced error by Asi Taulava.
That's really one of the things that has hurt the PBA All-Stars. All those turnovers, we saw it in the first half, gave up too many points off turnovers, gave away too many layups. And that's why this lead has also ballooned for the NBA team, because you add that to the fact of their 3-point shooting the third quarter, that's why it reached 30. Rather 20.
Lanny Smith scores on an easy layup off the turnover by Yo. Now here's Miller slicing through. And tip-in is good for Mark Pingris. Pingris will be playing back with Pure Foods this coming conference. 5.5 remaining in the fourth. Robinson. Here's Smith. Back to Robinson for 3. Kyle getting the rebound, and this is the putback. And here's Yo against Smith. Yo on the move, bounce past Pingris. Pingris goes up, and he was fouled, and he'll take 2.
Some fans might be wondering why it seems that the shot game clock's a little bit faster. We are playing FIBA rules. That's why we only have 10-minute quarters. And that makes it a little bit harder for the PBA All-Stars to get back.
Get the coach to put him back on the floor. Let's see if that will work. Back to you guys.
Ganun ka-experience si Vlad.
Oh, trying to get
reverse
some more-
psychology. Reverse psychology na yung coach.
Rory White is the coach of this team, and the assistant coach is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Speaking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, had an opportunity to see him when we went to the NBA finals. And, one of the had the pleasure of having a picture with him. Para tayong bata na nakita tayo ng idol, and was very kind enough to actually allow your student to have a picture with him.
I know.
Tapos in-erase na rin
I know. I know you were more starstruck with guys like Kurt Rambis and Kareem as a child of the 80s.
Marcus Hubbard for 3.
Alam mo na ako, Laker fan ako, pero
George Mikan.
Jordan Farmer
George
na yun.
Mikan. George Mikan.
Jordan Farmer yun na alam ko.
And speaking of Jordan Farmer, we talked about guys a while ago that have been in the NBDL that have had success
In the NBA.
in the NBA, just like the guys that we have on the floor right now. Jordan Farmer, when he was with the Lakers, especially in his first year, was actually playing in the NBA in the afternoons and playing in the mornings with the NBDL for practice.
Here's our KFC assist delivery of the quarter. Magpa-deliver sa KFC. Just dial 887-8888 KFC. It's finger licking good. In the meantime, there's the basket here. Marcus Hubbard really doing a lot of damage here in the second half. Who knows, maybe one of these fine gentlemen on the floor might end up with an NBA team, just like Jordan Farmar, just like Ramon Sessions.
Or maybe come back here and be an import in the PBA.
Why not? Like Billy Thomas, who used to play with.
Actually, a teammate of mine, I think a teammate of Winnie Arboleda and a teammate of Don Ontiveros before. Billy Thomas, actually I was talking to him before the game, he was saying he was actually surprised that he never got called back to come back to the Philippines because he did perform fairly well when he was here. And I told him, the reason why you couldn't get back is all of a sudden you destroyed Europe with your game and you were playing so well, and everyone said that your price was too high already. But the reason why you couldn't get back is all of a sudden you destroyed Europe with your game and you were playing so well, and everyone said that your price was too high already. But and he was laughing, and he was actually saying, Billy Thomas, that he was looking forward to seeing Jeffrey Payaso and Nori Locsin.
Remembers his teammates quite well.
Except me, sabi na. For you.
All right, Manny Smith, exhibition time. Manny Smith tossing the ball against the backboard, and Marcus Hubbard finishing the deal.
Marcus Hubbard, what we've seen from this guy is he can shoot from the outside, has hops that can get enough hops to get out of the gym, and maybe, like we said, one of those guys na bagay yung game niya here in the PBA.
Meantime, here's Miller.
Billy Miller for 3.
Miller with 14 points tonight. As we begin to wind up this incredible goodwill tour by the NBA Generations team.
Over the top.
We've been up and about, visited so many places here in Manila, so many landmarks, and I've met so many of their fans here in the Philippines. Back with more action in a moment.
And one of the
That's right. Also quite the golfer, huh?
Very good. The
Saw
entire
saw the
family.
brothers, and quite good golfers. 2:26 remaining here in the fourth period. And well, Patricia was right. We see the NBA legends, Timmy Hardaway resting. Dominic is no longer wearing his shoe. It looks like he's done for the night. Same with Robert Ory. And Kareem, of course, as always, sounding like a cool cat. on the bench.
You could say that most of the fans got their money first. Definitely. We saw Tim Hardaway with the crossover, Robert Ory with a three-point shot in foot. Dominique Wilkins scoring a total of 28 points.
And the last 2 minutes brought to you by Motolite, Pang Matagalan, Darwin Santos. Darwin actually started the game for the PBA All-Stars. Just to recap, at the end of the first, the PBA led by 26-25. That quarter belonged to Alan Kaidik. He had 15 points on 5 3-pointers in that first quarter. In the second period, some of the NBDL guys came in and allowed the NBA Generations to lead by 5 at the half, 46-41. And then in the third, it was all NBA onwards. As you look at Coach Yang Yao, right beside PBA Media Bureau Chief Muali. Pass ends up with J.R. Reyes. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. 0 for 3. And that ball ends up with Lanny Smith. Kyle will score underneath. Of course, this event is a milestone because this is by far the biggest effort by the NBA to bring a show here in Manila.
And even the quality of the players that we've seen, a couple of them, one of them part of the NBA, actually 2 of them part of the Hall of Fame of basketball. We're talking about Vladi Divac, rather Dominique Wilkins and Kareem. Of course, we've seen glimpses of players from the NBA.
This is really the NBA organized event in conjunction with Solar Sports, of course. Whereas before we'd get about two guys,
yes, that's right,
2-3 guys, but none with the stature of guys like, of course, Kareem and Dominique and Hardaway, Vlade and Robert Ory.
And they also gave us a little taste of the full entertainment of the NBA. You saw it in their timeouts, how the dancers from the New Jersey Nets, the mascots, and this is definitely what you would see if you had an opportunity to watch an NBA game.
And also don't forget to catch our TV special about the NBA tour here in the Philippines. I think we'll be seeing a lot of Leah and in that special. How they can actually make Leah seen in the same monitor with the players, I don't know. 5 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Chris Ellis with a slam dunk. And a great treat for the Filipino fans here inside the Big Dome as we end the NBA Asian Challenge 2009. Final score 109-86. A victory by the NBA Generations. And really, this is a victory for the Filipino NBA fans who got to see their idols up close and got to see both PBA and NBA legends playing at the same time.
Hit the nail on the head. Other basketball fans of the Philippines, we know and we accept that we are basketball crazy. Opportunity to see these guys, and also for the players, the Filipino players, to have that opportunity to play with your idols from the NBA, and actually to also experience not only the players but also the dancers and also the mascots, and just how the NBA brings entertainment to the basketball viewing public.
Our NBA Generations